This is my first time at Wanderlust. Anyone else's first time? Oh, good. I'm so glad to lose my virginity with you. Okay. What's your favorite thing so far? Shout it out loud and proud. We're going to do a lot of this. Acro yoga. Acro yoga? Like where people were flying you? Oh, I want to do that. I've only done it once. Is it so fun? It's so fun. What about, who's done the, like, where you're hanging in the silks? Oh, we did that. Is it so good? So good, yeah. Anything else? Anything else I have to try while I'm here? Paddleboarding? Yeah. What's that? What's that?
The 1-inch line that's above the ground that you can practice yoga on.
Whoa, sounds really advanced. Okay, good. I like it. Well, as Katie said, I'm Emily Fletcher. I'm the founder of Ziva Meditation, and I think she did a nice job of really articulating our mission, which is to make meditation attractive and accessible. And specifically, we like working with high performers. I operate under the radical belief that we meditate to get good at life, not to get good at meditation, right? Like no one gives a crap if you're a good meditator basically anywhere except for here. You're like, I'm so much better at meditating than you are. I'm so much more enlightened than you are. That's my favorite competitive spirituality. I do like to joke that I'm like the most competitive meditation teacher, which is its own gross joke. We can have another talk about that another time. But really, I feel very strongly about this, is that we meditate to get good at life, not to get good at meditation. And what I want to talk about today is this idea of mastering your purpose, okay? Mastering your purpose. Now, for some of you, this may mean getting clear on your purpose for the first time in your life. And I think that's pretty effing thrilling. And for others of you, you might already be crystal clear about what your purpose is. And so now, how do we take that to a level of mastery? How do we start to be able to intuit what action in any given moment is going to be of greatest service to your purpose? Right, that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I want to start by saying that I don't believe that you have one predetermined manifestation of your purpose out there waiting for you to discover it, any more than you have one predetermined soulmate out there waiting for you to discover them. And yes, my husband loves it when I say that in public. Did you notice that I just accidentally said husbands, plural? I'm not married to two people, just the one. So instead of this like predetermined manifestation of a purpose, I think what we have instead are challenges that need to be met. And in a life lived on purpose, probably many challenges. Now, which of these challenges and how we solve them is up to you, and that's where this talk is going to become really relevant, right? So what I do is that I have a framework, or I have 4 questions that I like to ask myself, and these are questions that I share with my students at Ziva, basically to help you to intuit which action, which of your desires do you listen to help be of greatest service to your purpose. So these 4 questions, they're pretty simple, but today we're going to put sort of a meditative twist on them. We're going to look at them through the lens of the Vedas. Now the Vedas, V-E-D-A-S, the Vedas are an ancient body of knowledge. It's the same body of knowledge that gives us Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, acupuncture, feng shui, all these ancient systems of healing. Many of them are born out of the Vedas. And today we're going to look at these 4 questions through the lens of the Vedas. And I'm going to take some water. You're like, okay, just get to the questions. Here they are. Question number 1. Ask yourself, what is the most pressing need of the time? Question number 2. Which of my unique gifts best serve that need? Number 3. Which of those gifts do I want to use? And number 4, which of those do I want to use right now? So we're going to break this down. Let's start with step 1. What do I feel is the most pressing need of the time? Now, to figure this out, I recommend that you watch the news or read the newspaper like once or twice. Like just once or twice, okay? Please absolve yourself of the responsibility to need to have an opinion about every single news event, every TV show, and every presidential tweet that happens. It is exhausting, and it will actually keep you from your purpose. Right? Too much news consumption can actually stress you out. Did you know that people who watched more than 6 hours of news coverage of the Boston Marathon bombing experienced symptoms of PTSD equal to or greater than people who were actually there? I'm going to say that again. People who watch 6 or more hours of news coverage of the Boston Marathon bombing experienced symptoms of PTSD equal to or greater than people who were there. So you guys, we gotta absolve ourselves of this responsibility of obsessively consuming the news. It's not doing any good, and if you're not gonna actually do anything about it, then you might as well drive on by instead of creating a spiritual bottleneck. What we put our attention on grows. So we wanna take care that we water the flowers and not the weeds. I'm not suggesting complacency. I have a whole nother talk about this tomorrow. But for now, watch the news once or twice. Figure out what you consider to be the most pressing need of the time. And I actually want to do an exercise right now. So I want you to go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to think of the most pressing need of the time to you. Now, I know there's a lot, things like climate change, ocean acidification, the coral reefs dying, the refugee crisis, our political divide, animals without homes, people without homes. There's a lot, but just think about what feels hottest to you, what feels most relevant to you right here, right now. And in a moment, I'm gonna have you open up your eyes, and I want you to get real weird and just real loud and proud. I'm gonna have you shout this thing out at the top of your lungs. And this is not to impress your neighbor, this is not to sound really smart, it's just for you to get clear on one thing, one pressing need of the time. So you can go ahead and open your eyes. And on the count of 3, we're all going to shout it out real loud and proud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Climate change! What were the last ones?
The lack of authentic connection.
Ooh, good. Good. Anyone else want to share?
The homeless shelters in Connecticut are losing all their funding.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right, well, now that we've sufficiently stressed ourselves out, now let's move on to step number 2, which is asking yourself, what are my unique gifts? Ask yourself, what are my unique gifts? Now, the challenge here is that I bet you have a lot of them, especially looking at the humans in this room right now. Right? So the trick here is figuring out which of my unique gifts best serve the need of the time. For example, I am an excellent tap dancer. I also have a killer high kick. Check it. Thank you. Now I also, I could get up here and tap dance for 20 minutes and it might be mildly entertaining for you, but let's be serious, it's not gonna change your life. Now I also happen to have a gift for teaching meditation, and turns out that the world's real effing stressed right now. Scientists are calling stress the black plague of our century, and I don't think that's an over-exaggeration. So I am choosing to spend my time and attention teaching meditation. So I want us to do this exercise again. And I want you to ask yourself, what are my unique gifts? And which of my unique gifts best serve the need of the time? So go ahead and close your eyes. And just take a think about all your many gifts, all your many talents. Are you an amazing yoga teacher? Are you an incredible organizer? Are you a great listener? Are you a powerful attorney? There's no right or wrong. Just thinking about which of your unique gifts best serve the need of the time. And go ahead and open your eyes. And on the count of 3, we're going to get real weird. And we're going to shout it out loud and proud. Which of your gifts do you think will best serve the need of the time? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. I'm going to need to hear some of those. Who's feeling brave? Someone's feeling brave.
Public speaking.
Public speaking. Amazing. Good. What else? Someone's feeling brave. Yes.
Help people find jobs.
Ah, great. Okay, so we've got homeless shelters that are filling and getting defunding, and we've got someone who's really good at helping people find jobs. I'm feeling better about the future of our species already. Okay, so these first 2 questions are really relevant, but they're pretty simple. Now we're going to move on to question number 3, and it's going to get a little bit more esoteric, but stay with me. Okay, we're going to take a little field trip, and then we're going to come back. So question number 3 is, which of these gifts do I want to use? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? What a concept. Now it seems pretty simple, but when was the last time you asked yourself that question? We're not doing that. Most of us are asking the question, what should I do? What's going to make me the most money? What's going to look good on Instagram? What's going to make my parents proud? What should I do? Now, Tony Robbins says that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions that you ask. And if you ask better questions, you'll get better answers. And I think that what do I want to do is a decidedly better question than what should I do? But this is where things get tricky, okay? Most of us do not have the ability to tell the difference between an addictive longing and an intuitive desire. I'm going to say that again. Most of us are not able to trust our desires because we can't tell the difference between an addictive longing and an intuitive desire. And this is where meditation comes into play. Okay, meditation is the fastest tool I know to help you access your bliss and fulfillment. Now here's the news. Your bliss and fulfillment exist in one place, and that's inside of you. And they exist in one time, and that's right now. And if you don't have the ability to access your bliss and fulfillment right here, right now, it's not magically coming on the other side of any addictive longing. It's not magically coming on the other side of a pair of shoes or a zero in the bank account or another 1,000 followers on Instagram or an article in the New York Times. And if you're living your life under this illusion that you'll be happy on the other side of the acquisition of your desires, then you're living your life in something that I call the I'll be happy when syndrome, right? And the I'll be happy when syndrome is the mistaken belief that we can somehow acquire our way to fulfillment. And newsflash, you can't. When we're in that I'll be happy when syndrome, it's really hard to tell the difference, like I was saying, between that addictive longing and that intuitive desire. And this is dangerous because we need to be able to hear those still small whispers of our intuitive desires to guide us on our purpose. Right? If this talk had a subtitle, it would be How to Use Your Desires as Nature's GPS. How do we start to be able to listen to those still small voices inside as an indicator of where nature wants to use us to go and deliver our gifts instead of being under the illusion that somehow we can acquire our way to fulfillment? Is this making sense so far? Is anyone just totally lost? I won't be offended, but I'm going to keep clarifying. Thank you, friend. So what's happening on an esoteric level is that meditation is giving you access to your fulfillment in the only place that it resides. It's allowing you to plug into the source of fulfillment. Now, what's happening physiologically is that about 30 to 45 seconds after you start practicing the style of meditation that I teach at Ziva, your brain and body flood with dopamine and serotonin. Now, dopamine and serotonin are bliss chemicals. So not only does this feel amazing when you're doing it, but when you come out of the other side of that meditation, your body is no longer under the illusion that you can somehow acquire your way to happiness. You're no longer under the illusion that your happiness exists out here because you just filled yourself up internally from the source. Basically, what this thing is doing is that it's allowing you to move out of need, looking to be fulfilled, and it turns you into fulfillment, looking for need. Now, every spiritual text has been saying since the beginning of time, what you seek is in you, right? This is not an original concept. It's not an Emily Fletcher concept. Like the kingdom of heaven is within. We get that. And it's great to get that as an intellectual concept, but it is much, much more powerful to be able to experience that tangibly, viscerally, every day, twice a day. And that, in no uncertain terms, is what meditation provides. And the reason why this is so powerful is that if you wipe away that longing of desire away from your lens of perception, what happens is that the volume on your addictive longings turns way down, and guess what turns up? The volume on your intuitive desires. And this is powerful because then those little desires become like nature's instruction manual. Turn left, write that book, call that guy. Right? Even when Siri's being like, in 100 feet, turn right. You're like, nope, I gotta turn left because nature's telling me to turn left. And now I got a new boss in town, and that's nature. It's not you, Siri. It's not my agenda. It's not what I thought I was supposed to do 20 years ago. Basically, what I'm saying here is that the easiest way to be able to listen to your intuitive desires is with the fresh, clear ears that meditation provides. Okay, so we went on that whole bliss and fulfillment field trip to talk about this question number 3, what do I want to do? To differentiate the difference between, well, I think I'm gonna be fulfilled on the other side of this longing versus I already am fulfilled because I already dipped into the source today when I meditated, and now I'm using my desires as an indicator of where I need to take my bliss out on a field trip. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So that leads me to question number 4. What do I want to do right now? Or right now? Or right now? Or right now? Not what did I want to do when I was 10, not what did I major in college, not what do I think will look good on my gravestone, but what do I want to do right now? And obviously the right now part of this is really important because nature's talking to us all the time. It's cueing us all the time. And my hypothesis is that the more you practice listening to this still small voice of intuition or cognition, and the faster you take action, the easier it is for you to live your life on purpose. But it does take practice. But eventually you end up in this space of what I call where nature renders you choiceless. Now that might sound a little scary, right? Because we think we want choice. We think that choice is amazing, but you guys, choice is exhausting. I hate it. It's like, who needs 1,000 pairs of jeans to decide between? Who needs like 75 different breakfast smoothie options? Who needs like 100 million different YouTube channels, right? All that energy that we're spending figuring out, well, this or this or this or this. If nature renders you choiceless, then you can use that energy to start to live your life on purpose. Basically what I'm offering here is that if you're really meditating, if you're tapping into the source every day, twice a day, the volume on your intuition is going to get so loud that you quite literally are rendered choiceless. And that is powerful. You're just like, oh, this guy, this car, this job, this company, this yoga class, right? And it's not a decision. It's not a left brain exercise. It's a right brain directive. Mm-hmm. So think about what your life would really look like, really truly, if you were able to approach every single situation in your life from a place of what can I give to this situation versus what can I get? Now, again, for my high achievers, don't freak out. You're not just going to turn into a bliss bunny being like, I've got everything I need right here. Why would I ever go outside? Like, no, like meditation doesn't take away your ambition. Bliss doesn't take away your drive. It takes away the neediness. And neediness is not sexy. Detachment is sexy. I'm gonna make a t-shirt that says, detachment is sexy. And on the back, it'll say, neediness is not. Oh, spiritual gangster will make it. It'll be great. Okay, so let's do a Cliff's Notes review of these 4 questions, okay? Question number 1, what do I consider to be the most pressing need of the time? Number 2, which of my unique gifts best serve the need of the time? 3, which of these do I want to do? And 4, which of these do I want to do right now? So this is it. It's pretty simple. This is the framework. And it's a good one. But if you want it to work, you have to actually do it. Right? You have to actually use it. You have to actually ask yourself these questions. It's like meditation. You've got to do it. And there is some fascinating new research coming out about meditation suggesting that meditation does not actually work unless you meditate. It's pretty revelatory. Talking about meditation, making a mood about meditation, it doesn't work. You gotta do it. Mm-hmm. So instead of being stressed out about the state of the world and complaining about everything that's going on and feeling really responsible because you're watching all of the terror that's happening, what if instead you use this framework and you start to plug into the source of fulfillment and you start to be able to intuit which of your desires are going to help you live your life on purpose? Because I would argue that the more lit up you are about your purpose, you're either going to inspire people to join you on your purpose or you're going to inspire them to start their own. But either way, we end up with a world full of people lit up about leaving this world better than we found it, and that sounds like a really fun place to live. So I invite all of you to join me on my purpose, and let's get the world meditating, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.